We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. A blow off top. Does anybody really believe that except me? Probably not. But I can convince you. What about a massive generational bottom in ETH and altcoins? And who knows, maybe even NFTs. Who's talking about that? Nobody. I got Gann work. Patreon subscribers have seen some of it, as well as YouTube members. Patreon has it in the store for 40-something, and a membership is 20-something. If you want to come in and check out the Gann work, Gann is back. A blow-off top is happening. A blow-off top can get started at any moment, most likely after this payroll number. After they either have to wake up on interest rates, wake up on stock market decoupling, wake up on the Bitcoin strategic reserve, whether it's done by companies or by Uncle Sugar. They are going to do Bitcoin. Something big is going to happen between now and that Bitcoin conference, the end of the month. Now, if that occurs, what's it going to look like? Like, does Bitcoin go up? And then what happens after that? So for that roadmap, based on serious Gann stuff, like I'm talking about spooky stuff. Now, you're like, who's Gann? Well, in short, Gann hacked the matrix. He traded back in the early 20th century. He made $50 million. He bought a giant skyscraper, right? And he used numbers from, religious texts, literally, Bible, Egyptians, everywhere, right? To figure out when markets were going to change, particularly like, call it seasonality or cycle analysis. We'll talk about why Gann bought a building on 42nd Street, because the number 42 was a big number to him. By the way, did you know that 42 months ago, there was the huge blow off top in crypto that then triggered an altcoin and NFT mania? Did you know? What does that mean for the current market? What does it mean for Bitcoin? What does it mean for ETH? And what does it mean for Solana? If you don't know, don't go anywhere. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and then right here is the YouTube member area where we have been talking, lots of things about blow-off tops, right? Toby was all over it, just like the decoupling, all over it. Patreon has also got some radical new analysis about the ascension of the crypto market. Again, you want to check that out. We will have more Gann today. Today we'll have Gann Light, equally compelling, along with monthly TA. Okay. The news flow is all about tariffs and negativity. And this market is completely set up for boom, to go much higher. Okay, we are in the opposite space. 42 months ago, we thought crypto was going up forever and we were never selling. Bitcoin was going to 100. It was crazy. This is like, I hate it. I hate the market. I hate it. I don't want to watch crypto. I don't want to talk about it. I want out. It's the complete opposite. So our blow off top hasn't started yet. And when it does, it's going to be, in my opinion, epic. Stay tuned. We'll debate it. Okay, let's welcome who's here. Bull Runner, first on the stream, sir, welcome. Thomas, Felix is here. Jav back again. Philip, Hans is all in, a member for 6 months. Thank you. Tybor, Tussle, greetings from Denmark, sir. Hello. Hobby, are we live? Yes, we are. Patriot Caveman, New Orleans, right? Lasers go. Psh, psh. New names, welcome to the show. DC Precise. Victor, a member. Grandpa Keeter in the house. This is the live market update. K9 Crypto is here. Now, I'm not going to show it on the screen, but we got one of our viewers who said, I can't wait till my portfolio gets in the green so I can sell and never come back. So 2 things about that. First of all, if you're that discouraged, thank you for watching the show. I appreciate that. If you're that discouraged, you don't have to watch the show. But we want you to watch the show, and here's why. What is the difference between that sentiment and where we were 42 months ago? In other words, if we're going to have possibly a reversal or even a blow off top, how big can the blow off top be? One. Two, if we have a reversal in sentiment like Ethereum, how big could that reversal be? And could it take all the altcoins, all the meme coins, and all this stuff that's done nothing but go down for 3 months? Right? I mean, everything going to go? ETH's going to what? 600? We're going down again? I don't think so. I don't think so. You could have a blow off top in May, and we'll discuss it. We will discuss it. Okay, news, let's go. Okay, private payrolls. Okay, so shocking. As soon as Uncle Sugar stops hiring and starts firing, job growth effectively falls out of bed, right? Private employers added 62,000 jobs in April. Okay, 115 to 120K was expected. So job growth is half of what they thought it was going to be. March was revised down to 147. Job openings fell to a 6-month low. 6-month low. And where's that number going to be next month? Okay, Friday's payroll report is supposed to be 130,000. Assuming the number isn't fake, it could be zero. Could be zero. Right? Economists see an orderly but steady cooling of the labor market. Okay. Soft landing. There's you either don't land, there's no such thing as a soft landing. We may have a structural change in the economy because of Bitcoin, crypto, and AI, right? But there is no soft landing on jobs or housing because there was never any job growth to begin with. It was like, oh my God, we're in a recession. Bro, we've been in a recession for 3 years. There's no job growth outside of tech. And even that is in question. They've been laying people off to buy data centers for 2 years. So what does this mean for crypto? Dude, rates have got to come down. They have to come down so hard. Like they're not even going to wait for Powell. They're not. When they get started, like, I don't know, the tariff and the bond market and everything is broken. People are either going to figure this out in the bond market or they're going to do it in Bitcoin. They're just going to say, you know what? We're done with this. Now, here's what you're done with this sounds like from history. So there was a guy named Keynes who, I don't know, he was real big on government spending. Okay. Like basically was like, yeah, if you know, growth is too slow, spend, which is what Brandon did. However, you know, as we said, you know, economists expect a cooling. Yeah, here's a good note about economists from a guy who liked to hand out sugar. The idea of economists and political philosophers, both when they are right and when they are wrong, are more powerful than is commonly understood. Indeed, the world ruled by little else until now. Practical men who believe themselves to be quite exempt from any intellectual influences are usually slaved of some defunct economist. That's like, oh God, the Fed's got to be independent. Oh, the orange man can't mess with the Fed because, you know, they're a neutral institution. No, they're not. No, they're not. Once again, he is wrong. We are currently being pushed even faster towards disaster, not just by this voodoo macroeconomics and not by the ideas of dead economists, but of deceased sociologists as well. Okay, economists, Marx, no. The Fed has led us down the road to ruin, and economists are still telling us that everything is okay when it's not on jobs or on money or on government spending. Like DOGE didn't cut anything and they want to add $5 trillion to the debt. And how does that get resolved? Lower dollar, higher Bitcoin. Has to. Right? And after the payroll number, even if the payroll number is meh, the market is ripe for some kind of an announcement. And they're already trying to pivot, right? Orange Man says it will be the other party's fault if tax bill is not passed. I can tell you this, in the United States, they have to get tax relief to people below a certain income, especially if everything's going up at Walmart because of the tariffs. It's not optional. They don't do it. If they don't do it, Fed funds are going to 1%, right? And Bitcoin and crypto are going massively higher, particularly RWA and DeFi. Okay, so we're a little bit embarrassed here. Orange Man said this is Brandon's stock market, not his. Okay, well, it's actually Powell's stock market because he's the one who levitated it. Everyone else just kind of sat around, watched, and went along with it. If we're going to be honest. And of course, the Orange Man is like just trying to make everybody upset by saying these type of things, knowing that, everybody will compare, what he said when the stock market was going up versus what he says when it's going down. If they were smart, they wanted it down on purpose because it's the only way you actually break inflation. You have to break it. Now, if the stock market's a mess and people are upset, they're upset. Okay? Feel so sorry for stockholders. Oh, so heartbroken. You had volatility. Sorry. We do 30% every couple of months, and in altcoins, you can do it before breakfast. What's the next investment thing that they got to get going? They're not going to bring the stock market back. So what are they going to bring back? Token 2049 is crypto, the only safe space amid macro chaos. Okay, well, first of all, nothing is safe. Don't start telling you stuff's safe. Nothing's safe. Everything can move. But how about smart? Like, what's smart? We've been pounding the table in the YouTube member area to get your bags packed. And everybody wants, guys want out, guys are hurt, guys have been wrecked. I understand that. I get it. But the thing is, if this is Gann's big inflection point, 42 months ago, we were in a euphoria that I cannot describe. 42 months ago, started the mania in NFTs where Bored Ape doubled from 200,000 to 400,000 with Madonna and Tom Brady buying the top the following March. So 42 months ago, yeah, Bitcoin stopped, but the rest of it went. In this case, you could have Bitcoin go and then everything else go after that. Why not? Because you're still in a revulsion stage. Meanwhile, YouTube member area, Patreon, the store. Oh my God. The store, we are absolutely locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. Crypto.com partnerships. The crypto companies have to be banks. This whole thing about, oh yeah, the banks are going to get along with crypto and the Fed's going to pull their guidance. No. The crypto companies have to become banks, and they're going to let them. So you can just go do business with Coinbase Bank or Crypto.com Bank, and then you can connect your crypto account, and you don't need Jamie. Okay? Now, this is about tariffs, China, and Bitcoin. Okay? Token 2049, U.S. versus China. What's the impact? Okay? The impact is that the Chinese are using Bitcoin to buy things. They're settling oil in Bitcoin with the Russians. Now, what are the Russians doing with the Bitcoin? I don't know if they're holding it or they're dumping it. Michael Saylor may be taking it from them. But I looked up. This thing actually had it. It's kind of nifty. The Chinese do have a huge amount of Bitcoin. They had miners in their country. They have seized Bitcoin, whatever. They got a lot of Bitcoin, right? Now, they're using it to buy oil. Why? Because they don't have dollars. It's easier to trade oil with the Russians in either the ruble or Bitcoin rather than use dollars. They need dollars. They need to export iPhones because they need to get dollars to keep their currency and financial system together. When Ray Dalio is like, well, everything's going to come unglued, he's not taking that part into account. He probably is, but not as much as a guy like Kyle Bass would. Okay. China and Russia settle energy trades in Bitcoin, and big players know it. So if they need Bitcoin to go back and forth and settle energy trades, that Bitcoin may not get sold. It might. Maybe that's where Michael Saylor gets it from. I don't know. But they're using Bitcoin because they're having problem with the dollar. Telegram blockchain, new features. Toncoin, a top pick in our HODL group, our HODL grouping, giving one away there over in the YouTube member area. That report's also in the Patreon store. Hey, Polkadot's back. The Jam Chain gray paper. guys, let's get going. You know what I'm saying? Like interoperability, real world assets, connecting blockchains. I mean, Polkadot's transaction throughput, as I learned this last year, consensus. The amount of transactions that can be done on Polkadot, okay, at like no cost is wildly underutilized. And if they ever utilized it, forget about it, right? And again, BlackRock is telling you that they're coming. Now, Orange Man, first 100-day speech. Get out the orange glasses, people. Get them out, right? The first 100 days, whatever they did, they were dogmatic on the whole trade thing, and they wanted to get after the Chinese, and they wanted to do it early in the administration. So the first 100 days is a disaster. Now what? Now what? It's got to be Bitcoin. It's got to be. And even if it isn't, listen, we can take off without them. Like, they should make a positive announcement, but if they don't, it's like we can just look at whatever's going on in legacy, whatever's going on with payrolls, and look at this and go, oh, yeah, we're taking this up. We're not just taking it up, we're taking it up hard. And because nobody thinks it can happen. Absolutely nobody thinks it can happen. Just like in 2021, nobody thought it was going down. I think Wendy O said sell, and then maybe BitBoy said sell after it rolled over with the Bored Ape mania. Everybody else was looking for 100K. Okay, so the orange man after Powell. Okay, so Powell's going to wind up the bad guy if the payroll number's terrible. I wouldn't be shocked if Powell quit over the weekend. That payroll number is terrible on Friday. That could be the end of Powell. He should just quit. And if he quits over the weekend, you're going to wake up on Monday and this is just going to be gone. I'm just trying to use my imagination wrapped around some of this Gann work, which we will get to in the PowerPoint, which will blow your mind. Okay, U.S. shoppers are already paying 145% more for whatever they like to buy from China. Okay, Temu and Shein Group have increased with a 377% jump. Maybe this will reduce my girlfriend's Amazon shopping. I could only be so lucky because it's buy 10, return 6. Maybe it'll stop. Who knows? Just a joke. Okay. Uber Middle East unit is delivering gold coins to your doorstep in Dubai. Okay, so people need to get gold. Okay. Okay. What are you going to do with it once you got it? What are you going to do with it? Is it going to go to 5,000? Probably. Okay, then what are you going to do with it? Sell for dollars, probably. Now, if you're somebody looking to do asset allocation, okay. But Uber drivers, really? I mean, can you see some sort of thing where, you know, like people are buying something crypto related and they deliver it through a delivery driver system? Like what would people be saying? Digital DoorDash? I don't know, man. They'd be like, let's get out. This feels like froth to me. Okay. Orange Man's son confirms crypto will be used at an Orange Man hotel. Excellent. Excellent. Anytime you guys want to get going here would be good because gross domestic product, if this is right, I didn't even think this was right. It was positive 3.3 and now it's negative 2.5 because of the tariffs. Yikes. Right? That's got to bring in the Fed. 74% chance of a recession. Okay. So, yeah, I guess if you have negative GDP growth 2 quarters in a row, that's a recession. Wonderful. The economy structurally is different. But, of course, the macro guys, Mark Mobius has 95% of his fund in cash. So, if you're a stock guy, I guess you are out. You are done. Dalio says global monetary order on the brink of breakdown. Okay, great. So how does that manifest itself? And what happens if that occurs when everyone's negative crypto? When no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about crypto. You mention Ethereum, you get laughed at. You mention Solana 400. Okay, some people are interested in Solana 400, right? Say out in 2026, a year from now. Some people are interested in that, right? You start talking about 120K Bitcoin. You start thinking about euphoria at this conference. You got a Galaxy IPO, right? And on NASDAQ in the middle of May. No one talking about this stuff. No one talking about it. None. Everyone's talking about this stuff. Meanwhile, BlackRock says the economy can withstand a 15% tariff rate. So is everyone hysterical? Yes. Is there negative data? Yes. But there never was any job growth to begin with. There wasn't, right? And you reduce government spending and you have an export-import shock. Okay. GDP is going to go down, but, we're not importing as much, but the investment in the economy is massive because of AI. So everyone's like, well, the old-fashioned economics numbers are terrible. Okay, yeah, some of the economic numbers are terrible, but the AI has changed everything. Has changed everything, right? That investment number's got nowhere to go but go up. Because the tech people, and of course, what are they doing? They're laying people off so they can build Skynet. Everyone's trying to build their version of Skynet. They can't get there fast enough. Why? Well, because they own all the digital real estate. If you want to buy a hammer, you're going to get it from Amazon. Amazon owns the cloud where you get physical goods, right? Social media companies, they own the digital real estate where you talk to other people. One of my colleagues sent me a graph the other day. So they're racing to build AI because they've already got you trapped in their real estate. How nice. How nice. Makes you want to get in the decentralized metaverse with decentralized AI, with real world assets and Bitcoin so fast, my head spins. Right? Yeah. Okay. There's investment that's holding up the economy. And what are they investing in? Dystopia. Dystopia. And we're like, I don't need Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't have privacy. I don't need that. No. This is when you do need it. Before everyone figures it out. Not when you're joining Madonna and Tom Brady at the top of Bored Ape or whatever the equivalent is this time around. Not that. And I'm going into stuff where we have post-halving. So to give you an idea about how big this AI thing is, elite consulting firm McKinsey just put every term paper and proposal into a chatbot, 100 years worth of data, and they've got their consultants using it, the guys who use it about 17 times a week. And I'm using stuff like this like 17 times a day. Thumbnails, titles, Gann charts, you name it. I'm doing stuff with Gann I never even thought was possible. I'm like, next lifetime. Gonna have to become a retired crypto millionaire just to read like half of these books. Not anymore. Not anymore. By the way, did you know a weaker dollar is good for countries overseas? Yeah, that's because people get out of a dollar deposit at the Fed, get other currencies, and go invest abroad. The dollar going lower is constructive long-term. It's definitely good for gold and Bitcoin, but a lower dollar helps the healing process. And of course, you can't get out of a debt crisis without devaluing the currency. So if this payroll number is terrible, the dollar may just go, whoop, see ya. No one's talking about this. I just remember everyone was obsessed with DXY. I've said this a million times. No one's talking about it. Not one word. Minor mention. Orange Man says he's sad to hear China is getting absolutely hammered. Okay, well, let's just assume that's true. As long as there's social order, they don't care. I mean, they care about social disorder from unemployment. But if it's not like tearing the country apart, communists will be like, yeah, well, just, these people will get erased or whatever. We don't care. I mean, seriously, communist regimes have killed 50 million of their own people. You think these guys are going to get upset about the closing of an iPhone factory? I don't think so. I mean, something eventually gets worked out, but, communists don't just give up, which allows governments to make more and more and more of a mess, right? So if Dalio is right, okay, it's a mess. Great. The solution to that mess is what? Stocks going to zero, bonds going to zero, or Bitcoin going to 130, or ETH going to Toby's target from the YouTube member area. which is also in Patreon. Patreon has a bigger target for 2016. You read the Gann work in the Patreon, right? You're going to know why Toby, like I was like, Toby's like, oh, I got to buy more ETH. I got to have more ETH. I'm like, Toby, it's going down. She's like, I don't care. I want it. I found out why. I ganned out and found out. Eric Trump, anti-crypto banks will be extinct in 10 years. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, right? All you need is Bitcoin sustainably above 100, and you'll have banks having to get with the program, especially if it's forced by a different currency regime, which is what I think Dalio should be talking about instead of a new monetary order. It's just a change in the foreign exchange market, dude. It's happened multiple times. Of course, you get major headlines and you sell more books, you get more popular. I get it. He's talking on CNBC, and, I'm talking to you nice people, which is great. I'm so happy to do that. But one day they're going to be like, hey, remember that guy and that girl on that show that said, hey, decoupling in 2017? Oh, okay. Our time is coming. Orange Man Media, Trump token, part 2 for Trump media streaming. Actually, I would love to try it. Can't connect the streaming software to Truth. I think because, the company that makes the streaming software, I think they just added Rumble. I put Truth on there too. I'll go to Truth. Right? I'm certainly not getting any money from Elon. I'm not. So we'll go to Truth in a minute. In 100 days, the president stopped Operation Choke Point to kill crypto banks, appointed the crypto czar, hosted the first White House crypto summit, established a Bitcoin strategic reserve, didn't buy any, but he established it, and declared America will be the crypto capital of the world. They're going to have to make good on this, and they're going to have to make good on it when the Orange Man's popularity gets low enough. And I would say, based on the ranting that's going on Twitter, they are sitting in an office going, what can we do about this? And you know what? Howard Lutnick, for all the dumb things he may or may not say on the tape, he knows what they're going to do about it, which is why he's trying to get $3 billion in Bitcoin before they do. He knows exactly what they're going to have to do. Actually, frankly, so do the Orange Man's kids. They're like, yeah, we're going to do all this, whatever it is we're going to do, and we're just going to get long and strong before Big Daddy has to come in and buy it all. Right? I mean, can you see the Orange Man and Michael Saylor on a stage announcing that something like this is going to happen? I mean, you'd have FOMO beyond what you can believe. And right now, it's again, people want out. They were just really discouraged. I'm discouraged. But you don't think I'm not discouraged? I'm discouraged. But then I get the Gann out and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, this right here looks like a coloring book. It's like this, like obscure. Gann wrote a lot of weird books. Discover the magical word of God, right? Like the guy knew everything in the Bible, all the numbers to use to pull out to do analysis. I mean, like I said, you don't know who William Gann is. Don't worry about it. He hacked the matrix. Meanwhile, back at the BlackRock ranch, BlackRock looking to tokenize everything. Treasury trust fund, right? What happens if there's no liquidity in the treasury market? They need it tokenized. Markets can lock up. These markets locked up 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you remember back then, it was crypto winter. Remember that? Crypto winter. I don't think so. But BlackRock wants all this stuff on chain. And they're going to get it. Orange Man after Powell. Orange Man says he is more knowledgeable than the Fed chairman. Now, that is probably not true. But I suspect the Orange Man, even though, he is all about the Orange Man, he's probably way more patriotic than Powell is. I'm not sure who Powell is serving with leaving rates at 0 and then tightening 500 basis points, wrecking everybody, and then backing off on rate cuts when everything is falling out of bed, especially employment is falling out of bed. And housing is next. So, I don't know, man. Who's working for the Stars and Stripes? I mean, nobody looks competent at the moment, but who's more patriotic? Meanwhile, the Fed is spending $2.5 billion so they can keep you out. Why would you build a fortress like this? I used to walk by the New York Fed, which literally is a fortress. Looks like a castle. Literally, it's built like a castle. Giant bricks, because that's where the vaults are. No accountability, just arrogance. These characters have blown everything up, and there's only one way to get the message across. One way, and that's Bitcoin, and then take the rest of this market and indiscriminately move it Bored Ape style. Like, we got to take this market all the way till Bored Ape Mania, until Madonna and Tom Brady come back in. When Madonna and Tom Brady come back in, you can sell. Right now, everyone in crypto wants to get out. 42 months after euphoria, we have despair. And we have Gann Saturn timing around the halving, which was indicating a blow off top is very possible. We'll get into it. Bitcoin country, very busy today. Lecture on Bitcoin Lightning devs. God, if they could just build DeFi. This MasterCard announcement is underrated. People start paying with stable coins. They have stable coins in their wallet. That's going to become Bitcoin very, very, very quickly in an up move. As a reminder, United Kingdom said to work with the United States to boost cryptocurrency adoption. Meanwhile, on the ground, mention crypto at any UK bank and watch them close your account. Close your account. Bye. Have a nice day. Treasury Secretary Bessent says tariff revenue will provide the American people with much needed tax relief. So you hope. In the meantime, they continue to spend, which has got to be constructive crypto and negative the dollar. CBDCs are coming. This is a much watched April 29th. You don't think they can surveil you? Yeah, they kind of can. They kind of can, right? The Canadians are back. Mass migration, authoritarian speech controls, green mandates, and ongoing conflict with the orange man. Who's on your side? Not these people. And just in case you think it's just the Canadians, just in case you think I'm picking on them, look at this. This is the great state of Texas. The great state of Texas, the sort of the House or one part of the parliament of the state of Texas criminalized political memes. Now, if they wanted to get attention, they did a great job. But it actually passed. They passed it. That's Texas. They can do it in Texas. They can do it everywhere. Like, interview with Aztec Labs, ZK privacy pools, why Ethereum needs to scale privacy right now. Matter of fact, that could be how Ethereum comes back, is that they figure out how to scale privacy. There are privacy ZK layer 2s. Hot antivirus, man. It's like I get more bullish every day, right? I just need them to punch through the top of this accumulation cone. Every day there's something. Every day, right? It's like they're just sort of they're coming for you. SEC delays DOGE and XRP ETF decisions. So that's kind of a bummer for XRP. I don't blame them on Doge. You know why they're doing this? Because Ethereum got wrecked. The orange man owns Ethereum. They don't want any more Ethereum competitors out there. This is my view. When Ethereum comes back, or Solana, they'll approve all these ETFs. They can't do it right now because so many people got wrecked in the ETH ETF, which I frankly would expect to reverse itself. Bitcoin may evolve into a low beta equity. It makes no fundamental sense, and yet when it's repeated enough, it actually becomes a little self-fulfilling. So Bitcoin has no monetary value. It's not advanced computer science. It's not the currency of AI. It's, okay, it's a different thing, but it's still no good. This is BlackRock's stock market, people. Stock's down 30%, no hope of going back up. Bitcoin holds strong like bull. Yeah, well, it's a this, it's a that. Yeah, okay. I don't have to do it. Yeah, okay. Well, How high does it have to go before he has to do it? That's all. That's a simple question. And then we'll do the Gann work, right? How high does it have to go before he has to do it? Before he has to do it. Just a reminder from Michael Saylor, we sold $1.5 billion of stock backed by Bitcoin. We bought another $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? This is the best business model in the world. We need to copy this immediately, says SoftBank. Issue trash paper, which, by the way, is very popular with the mutual fund community, and use it to buy the only sound money in the system. And by the way, don't forget, Bitcoin is the rising tide that lifts all boats. It's the perfect storm. That's the title of the stream, right? Everyone negative. Gann set up clear as a bell. Clear as a bell. Everyone in the institutional world on the verge of realizing that their system is permanently changing. It's broken, it's changing, it's whatever. We need a dollar devaluation, and the fastest way to do that is Bitcoin, and the entire altcoin tech space is just, I mean, even if you're not into ETH, even Solana at 140 feels like a total joke to me after what I put in the Patreon group, the $25 Patreon group, by the way, right? And I'm putting more and more and more stuff. That's going to be like Gann Central. New Mexico, Texas next door neighbor. We're passing laws about political memes, and New Mexico, which is not the home of like rocket science physics, they're like, yeah, you know what? We want some Bitcoin. There you go. New Mexico says, yep, we're going to take some money and we're going to buy, because we're not going to sit around and watch the dollar create problems in our neighborhood. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Texas, best since like rates are down. No, they're not. Mortgage rates are down. No, they're not. Gasoline and energy prices are down. Yeah, but not enough to make a difference. And we're expecting further decreases, or so you hope. So you hope. Now this, man, I'm hoping Mike has got this right on. Galaxy plans on going public May 16th, 10 days before the Bitcoin conference, pending shareholder approval on May 9th. We believe this listing will position Galaxy to better serve investors across digital assets and AI ecosystems. So they traded their Bitcoin mine for AI data centers. I have mixed feelings about that, but I understand why he needed to diversify the model so he's not, a complete crypto play. You got any idea what happens if they IPO this and Bitcoin is going to 120 in the process? Everyone's given up on these crypto stocks. Everyone thinks it's over. Everyone thinks it's over, and Mike's going to issue the stock, take a bunch of money, and he's going to watch the stock fly. And then I think if they're smart, Ripple will be next if this works. If this thing with Galaxy goes off well, you're going to have everybody. And I'm not talking about Circle and Kraken, please. I'm talking about projects. The Ethereum Foundation, go public. Ripple, go public. Ripple already has privately traded shares. That's what saves XRP. Honestly, Panama City wants in. Oh, this Texas house thing, I can't even look at it. Okay, I'm going to PowerPoint. Here we go. Okay, also, as we're going through the show here, don't forget to turn on the notification button. Okay, hit the notification button. That helps the channel. Okay, this is your market update. Whoops, that isn't coming up. Your market update. Okay, here we go. So this is the Orange Man stock market down. Orange Man 1.0 range, right? This was up range. This is down range. I don't know if this is going to go back up again. It could if Powell quit. Can you imagine? Imagine a terrible number and then Powell quits over the weekend. Oh my God. Nobody looking for that. Nobody. Or they get the sovereign wealth fund going with Bitcoin. I'll take either one. May 5th, 2025. The 5th day of the 5th month of the 5th year of the decade. Classic Gann sparkles. Monday, May 5th. Okay, so let's talk about the Saturn cycle. So Saturn, Lord of Times, and its turnarounds culminate with events and price climaxes. So 378 days after the Bitcoin halving. So roughly 1 year, right? 360 days in a year. We do a little Saturn cycle work. Okay. So over here you have a little typo. You have 2016, 2020, and 2024, right? Then you have the halving dates. July 9th, 2016, May 11th, 2020, April 20th, 2024. Okay. So 370 days after the halving in 2017, Bitcoin was at 2,000. In May 24 of 2021, Bitcoin had corrected down to 38K. And then, of course, on May 3rd, we know that Bitcoin's going to be roughly, wherever it is now, 90-something. This is what Bitcoin did starting in July of 2017. The first green candle on the weekly chart, and it was off to the races. You had 1-2 dips. That was it. Gone. Like banana zone. Now, could Bitcoin go into banana zone? Did you have an event in Legacy around that Bitcoin conference? Can this go freaking bananas in the next 45 days? According to this, we can. Okay. 370 days after the halving. Now, in this case, in May of 2021, it did take a while, but then it went up only. And this wasn't the end. It was just the end of Bitcoin in October of 2021, 42 months ago. But the euphoria up here, we all thought Bitcoin was going to 100. I mean, it was obvious. I'd say, oh, yeah, it's definitely happening. It's going to 100, right? I mean, crazy. I mean, Bored Ape came out at $250,000. Now, let's go back to the number 42. Okay, so 42 in biblical numerology, divine completion, trial, or transformation. Gann was so fascinated with the number, he bought a building on 42nd Street. Hence, he may have seen this as a turning point number. Okay, so what are we turning? What are we turning? Well, here, right at the 42nd month, you had total euphoria, and then that turned. Okay, so what do you have now? Somebody did us a favor. What do you have right now? Let's just go to the monthly chart. Like, guys hate it. And my views, what it's all obvious, right? No one's interested. So you're up here, you're at this like huge high point on say a monthly chart. You have a phenomenal monthly candlestick, and everyone hates it. Everyone. Like, altcoins actually hold up pretty good prior to the stock mess today. We trading altcoins off GDP numbers? No, dude. We're trading like the fact that Powell has either got cut rates or quit or both. This is our idea of despair. I don't think so, man. And even if it is a climax, it's going to be a big climax to like 115 or well over 100. And if that happens, that ignites altcoins. So if 42 months ago, right, 42 months, we had a psychological shift, we had massive euphoria that got a little bit more ridiculous and then ended, can we do the same thing? Can we get a little bit more ridiculous? Or perhaps we're bearish. Because we are way more bearish than we were 42 months ago. People want out. How bearish are we? I don't know, man. Look at Arrow. You know, look at these charts. You know what I'm saying? Like, does this look like the top in 2021 to you? It looks like one over that. It's destroyed. 42 months from epic euphoria, you have despair. If it turned around back, if it went lurched up and then went down, could this sit and then just go? All of it. You understand what I'm saying? Markets love symmetry. What is going to reverse in these conditions? I think the rampant bearishness. And even if that's not true, you can still have one more big push in Bitcoin. Why not? And what happens if this turns in? Look at ETH. Like, I think I have this in the PowerPoint. Like, if we're talking about something like reversing itself, what about ETH? What about ETH? Right on this Fibonacci circle point, 378 days. Turnarounds coincide with culmination events and price climaxes. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. What trend exactly could turn around? 42 months from 2021. 378 days from the halving. I mean, Gann wasn't stupid. He bought a skyscraper with his trading profits. You know anybody in crypto that could buy a skyscraper with their trading profits? What's going to reverse course here? And again, if you look at what I put in Patreon, which is like radical stuff based on the New Testament and timing around that, as to when Bitcoin literally ascends and becomes like a sovereign kind of like doctrine of its own. Oh, God. Some guys loved it. Some guys hated it. Okay. Also a reminder. I did a piece of data work around the 22nd of April. And one of the things in that piece of analysis was that, you know, when you get rallies kind of near the end of a month, Bitcoin could be substantially higher. Even when, you know, this goes back to when Bitcoin was a very small coin. Bitcoin could go up 20, 30, 40%. And that's not the small coin era, right? Bitcoin up 3% up on the 22nd day of the second quarter. You can tell these is not necessarily Gann numbers, but you can tell I like playing with the historical machine Gann style. Up 3% near the end of the month in the second quarter. Not a ridiculous query. Okay. What do you get? May 2017, Bitcoin up 35% in 3 weeks. 2020, May, Bitcoin up 40% in 2 weeks. 2014, 26%. Back in the days of baby Bitcoin, 150%. Now, you're not going to have a 150% rally in Bitcoin, I think, but you could have a 150% rally across a lot of other products. You could definitely have Solana at 250. Why can't that happen? It can happen. I mean, this is not a Gann system. This is something totally different. This is a completely separate thing. So I got Toby from the YouTube member area who's got our customers with their bags packed, right? Telling everybody, hey, and frankly, I thought the woman was out of her mind. Out of her mind, right? In the Patreon store, if I got this right, okay, biblical Gann analysis. Okay, and I got, if you're allergic to the monthly membership, you know, we got mid cap, small cap, mid cap, mixes between DeFi and AI. And then there's the YouTube member area where we nail it down quick for you in podcast format. Okay, let's see who's here. I think I'm doing okay at driving the stream without the Eagle King, who will be back with a vengeance on Monday. All right, I did miss a screen share. Sorry. I'm pretty sure we were talking about the Bitcoin monthly chart, okay, which I can put up again. I don't mind. Okay. I don't understand why everyone is telling me that this particular chart is negative when you look at the monthly chart. That's a negative candlestick. That looks like this candlestick where you try to hammer it down 2 or 3 times and then it comes screaming back, right? I mean, if you look at the monthly stuff, right? Monthly XRP looks like whatever dip they were going to do, they've done. Bitcoin monthly, like they may not get there with today's action. They engulfed almost the entire range of the last candle, the last month, with a new low. So wick down all the way back. How is anyone looking at this how is this not positive? Right? 13 bottom in ETH, monthly chart. QQQ is unchanged for the month. Thank you for coming in. Right? You can't believe how much money people probably lost in equities. Unbelievable. I think the only person in equities who didn't lose money was Warren Buffett because he sold 2 months ago. Everybody else was long, and then they puked, and then they got short, and then it ripped up in their face. And frankly, I can't believe the administration is going to let it go back down again. Right? That's where Besant and all these guys are going to have to print. Arthur Hayes has said this. I read it on the stream ad nauseum. Right? They get any more volatility out of this tariff thing, Treasury QE or Fed QE is in there. And I think if this payroll number is bad enough, I don't know how Powell survives a negative payroll print or a payroll print of 0, right? Basically showing, a limited, it's not going to be 0. We'll see. We'll see, right? No matter what the number is, the reality is the same. The only hiring that was going on was governments and people who were from another country. As soon as you stop that, where's the job growth? There hasn't been any job growth. Which leads to our conclusion from this YouTube area is that we've been in a recession, right? Okay, yeah. Imports down, investment up. Oh, okay, right. All right. Let the economists play with their numbers. What happens if Bitcoin just takes off? It's happened before. It happened in 2017. I can promise you right now, nobody in 2017 thought it was going from 2K to 20K. Nobody. Now, guys may have thought it was going to 10K. That seems reasonable. I had that conversation when Bitcoin was at 5K. Nobody in 2017 thought it was going to that kind of level. Nobody. See if I can just look at the weekly chart just so we can see that, again, once this thing went banana zone, okay. This was September. Okay. It actually started in July. Personally, I think they can do it again. Because if you look at the halving research, 370 days from the halving, it starts moving. And again, everyone wants out. That's the thing. And again, I understand that that's painful. That people just absolutely want out. Lasers Go says, I'll buy at 87K. It's bigger than me. Lasers says, I was buying at 9.8. Tybor was like, Bill, share the screen. All right. Hopefully I got most of that in there. Hot Mess Express here from Arizona. Who appointed Powell? Oh, that's a good question. It may have been the Orange Man. It may have been. And does it actually matter with these central bank chairmen? They're all the same. Who are they working for? The great Santini is here. Welcome, sir. Take back your freedom. Don't let them take it away from you. Don't. And for God's sakes, take a look at anything related to privacy and practice with it, which is antivirus, any privacy play. The best time to do things, the best time to say go back. The best time to look at NFTs wasn't when Madonna and Tom Brady were buying NFTs. It was way before that, even before Bored Ape. Like Azuki came out at 3 ETH, wound up massively higher. There's a bunch of stuff out there that no one's looking at, and I think it could be the AI coins because the big ones have moved, right? Small cap DeFi, small cap real world assets. I'll give you some hints. Real world assets. Just think about some of the tokens, right? What are the big tokens? Ondo, Goldfinch, Clearpool, right? Which ones do we like? Well, you know what? You're going to have to tune in over there to find out. But the thing is that whole, it's amazing. Oh, the system is broken. Ray Dalio, everything is broken. Yeah, but these coins, because of the Ohm scandal, no one's touching those coins. Don't you see how crazy this is? And don't you see how this is exactly the opposite of where we were 42 months ago? If we're going to have a blow off top, sentiment has to be completely rearranged. I mean, the company that I used to work for, they a little hesitantly, but I mean, they released a crypto rap album, which, by the way, had a lot of good music on it. You have no idea what was going on in 2021 versus now when, winter was trending 2 weeks ago. No way. And again, if you look at the Gann work, okay, about what happens in what we'll just call it year 5, listen, man, you can get a wild buying climax, followed by some volatility probably in July. But again, I'm going to have to leave you. Go and check it out. Patreon is cheaper. YouTube member area has got Toby, who hasn't been wrong about anything. She's been 3 months ahead of all the macro heads. And prices go up this week for the thing in Vegas. The best reason to be there is because that could be the massive blow off top or some kind of gigantic announcement. And I don't think people are taking it seriously. Novogratz is, because they're doing the IPO in front of the conference, which to me makes all the sense in the world. Okay, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget, if you can't support the channel, the best way to support the channel is with the like button and the notification button. To all my customers and all my viewers, I appreciate your business. We will see you tomorrow.